Have you ever been stuck on a problem, thinking about it over and over and getting nowhere? Or made a decision that seemed right in the moment, only to realize later that you missed something obvious? Here's the thing. The problem isn't usually that you're not smart enough, it's that you are thinking at the wrong level. Today, I'm going to teach you a mental framework that I like to call thinking in levels. It is a tool that strategists, consultants, and high performers use to see situations more clearly and make better decisions. And by the end of this video, you will be able to use it too. So why does this matter? Think about a carpenter working in his workshop. You can watch him, see his tools, examine his finished products, and pretty quickly figure out if he is good at what he does and how he does his job. The work is tangible. But mental work is different. You can't see someone's thoughts. You can't observe their reasoning process. And here's the real challenge. Most of us were never taught how to think deliberately. We just think and hope for the best. The result? We often get stuck in mental loops. We miss important details. We fail to see the bigger picture. Or we get so lost in the big picture that we never actually get anything done. Thinking in levels solves this by giving you a mental map. 5 distinct perspectives you can consciously move between, depending on what the situation requires. Picture it like this. Imagine 5 different viewpoints stacked vertically. At the top, you have a satellite, then a drone. In the middle is your eye level. Below that, a torch, and right at the bottom, a microscope. Let me walk you through each one. The eye level is where most of us live most of the time. It's your natural perspective. What's right in front of you? How things affect you here and now. This is useful for daily operations, familiar situations, routine decisions. But it has limits. When you're inside a situation, you can't fully see it. There's an old story about a young fish who swims up to an older fish and asks for directions to the ocean. And the old fish replies, "But son, you're already in one." That's the eye level trap. You are so immersed in your situation that you can't see it clearly. So let's go one level up. The drone level is what happens when you mentally float above your own life and you look down. Not through the situation, but at it. This does 3 powerful things. First, it gives you fresh eyes. You see your context in ways you couldn't from inside it. What you do, what's really going on around you. The second, you see connections and interdependencies. How your actions affect others. How their responses will likely affect you. Engineers call this a system view. Project managers call it dependencies. Whatever you call it, this is crucial for navigating complexity. Third, and this one might sound a bit soft, but is just as important, you get emotional distance. So let's say you present an idea at work and nobody seems excited about it. From eye level, you might spiral. Your manager doesn't appreciate you. You are bad at presenting. Oh my God, everything is terrible. But from the drone level, you can see the whole room. Maybe there's budget pressure you didn't know about. Maybe the timing is off. You take yourself and your ego out of the equation and see things more objectively. Now let's go even higher. The satellite level shows you the global picture, the macro trends and forces shaping the world around you. This used to be something that only governments and big corporations worried about. But not anymore. Each of us ignores the larger picture at our own peril. At the satellite level, you're asking, What are the big trends in technology, society, economics, politics? And more importantly, how might they affect my specific situation? This isn't about reading the news and being vaguely aware. It's about doing the work to understand how those forces connect to your life. Here is a practical way to use it. Identify 3 or 4 major trends from reliable sources. Then ask yourself, how relevant is each one to my life? What can I do about it? Maybe automation is advancing in your field. Maybe demographics are shifting in your industry. Maybe there are political or economic changes on the horizon. The satellite level is where you spot these things before they hit you. Now let's go in the opposite direction, below the eye level. The torch level is about focus, monotasking. Imagine walking into a dark room. You have 2 choices. You can flip on the overhead light and see everything all at once, not necessarily knowing where to look first. Or you can have a torch and point it at exactly one thing. When you use the torch, you see one thing at a time. You give it your undivided attention. And here's what's interesting. This doesn't mean you accomplish less or do less things. Many of the most prolific achievers I know are fierce monotaskers. They accomplish many things precisely because they focus on one thing at a time. The key is that you can move the torch when you're done with one task, or you have reached a natural stopping point. You shift your attention deliberately to the next thing. In our world of constant notifications and endless tabs, this is genuinely a superpower. Finally, the microscope level. This is where you zoom in on details, the granular specifics that make execution actually work. After you have shown your torch on a project or task, you then examine it through the microscope. What are the exact steps? What are the specific timelines? What are the precise details that need to be exactly right? Great execution requires both the torch to select what to focus on and the microscope to get the details right once you're focused. So that's the 5-level framework: satellite, drone, eye, torch, microscope. 5 levels that you can move between deliberately. Now let me tell you where people often go wrong with this. The first mistake is getting stuck at one level. Some people just live at the eye level and never zoom out. They are reactive, always putting out fires, never seeing the patterns. While some others live at the satellite level, always talking about big trends and macro forces, but never actually doing anything. You need fluidity. The skill is in moving between the levels based on what the specific moment requires. The second mistake is not making things tangible. Your thoughts are invisible. They're hard to work with, so you need to make them visible. Draw them out, write them down, talk them through with someone. When you're doing drone-level thinking, literally visualize yourself floating above your situation and describe what you see. It may sound strange, but it really works. The third mistake is trying to do this when you're tired or stressed. Moving between levels takes mental energy, often more than people realize. And your brain wants to conserve energy, so it defaults to the eye level. That's fine for routine situations, but when you're facing something important or complex, you need to consciously engage the other levels. And that means doing this work when you have the cognitive resources for it. So how do you actually practice this? Here's what I want you to do. Think of a decision you're currently facing or a situation you're trying to figure out. First, notice where you naturally are, probably the eye level. Then deliberately go to the drone level. Imagine floating above your situation. Write 2 or 3 paragraphs describing what you see from up there. What connections do you notice? What are you missing from inside the situation? Then go even higher to the satellite level. What bigger forces or trends might be relevant? Even if they seem distant, how might they affect the situation in the next few years? Then come back down. Shine your torch on the most important next action. What's the one thing you should focus on right now? And finally, learn to use the microscope. What are the specific details of that action? What exactly needs to happen and when? And then go and do it. So go through all the 5 levels, and I promise you, you will see your situation differently than when you started. The goal here isn't to overthink everything. It's to think deliberately and differently when it matters. Most of the time, eye level is fine, but when you're setting direction for your life, creating a strategy, making a big decision, or stuck on a problem, having these other levels available to you is incredibly valuable. So practice moving between them. Get comfortable at each level. Build that mental muscle. And remember, clear thinking isn't something you either have or don't have. It's a skill. And like any skill, it gets better with practice. All right, that's thinking in levels. Try it out on something real this week and let me know how it goes in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.